Hello, everybody. It is Jen Ferguson here with Artistic Painting Studio, and welcome to my page. Oh, it's Monday. We've made it through the day, and I hope you guys all had a great day. It's been very, very productive around here. A little on the crazy side, but we all got a ton done. And I think Amber actually got pretty caught up on orders, so you should be getting shipping notices if you had an order in with us. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that I'm on the right page and get a couple of things done here. Okay, I'm just sending out notifications, and let me get back to my page. And hello, Victoria. Good evening to you as well. How'd you guys do? Get a chance to come join me. Make sure to say hello in the comments. Love knowing who's here with me and hanging out. And we're going to have some fun, okay? And I'm going to try really hard not to use the same stencil I always use, okay, on jeans. I'm going to try to mix it up a little bit and use a different one, but we're going to see, okay? So tonight, well, this whole week, I'm going to feature fabric painting, or not fabric painting, fabric foiling, okay? So we're going to foil on fabric all week. I'm going to do a pair of jeans tonight. I'm hoping to do maybe another pair of jeans tomorrow with a totally different technique. We're going to try to do a t-shirt with another product and just kind of keep going through the week on showing you how to use all the different foil adhesives that are designed for fabric application and how to use them all well. Okay, we do have videos on my YouTube channel, but it seems like everybody's still always asking questions. So we're just going to have some fun. Okay, this is a pair of jeans I already started. And I'm going to stick with this stencil design. This is our Bella Flourish stencil pattern. And I did one of the jean pockets with the stencil, and the other pocket I did with full coverage, okay? So the back of the jeans are pretty flashy, okay? And there's no way on earth I will fit into these. So we're probably going to put these up for sale. I looked at that tag. I don't think I'll ever get back down to that size, so it's time to just move on. And I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom of the jean. I'm going to do the jean leg, okay? So if you guys have questions or comments, just go ahead and type them. Let's get this conversation and a party going, okay? I'm going to be working with, let's stay with the same foil pattern, which is it Dara? No, it's not Dara Leopard. Oh, gosh, now I'm having a brain freeze here. I want to say a brain fart, but I'll have to look this one up so I can tell you guys the name. I have two foils here. They're very, very similar. This one is the Dara Leopard, and this one, I can't think of the name of it. So let me go look, okay? Somebody asked me earlier today how on earth we actually remember all of the foil names. And I think the only person that really does is Amber, because she is cutting them all day long, okay? So she is the one that is constantly cutting them, having to pull them, so she remembers all the names. I do pretty good for the most part, and then every once in a while, they all escape me, okay? So we're going to go to metallic foils here, and I'm just going to go hit on the animal prints. Normally, they come up, you know that you can sort from old to new or new to old, okay? So even in the categories, so if you're looking for, yeah, somebody's trying to help me. I don't know if it's called Dolly. Okay, I'm looking. But even if you go to, oh, here it is, Luna. It's a Luna leopard. Okay. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. But it's always good to also remind you that when you go to the website, if you go to all foils, you can sort from new to old or most popular, or whatever way you want to sort. But you can also go to the categories. So I was in animal prints and I sorted them from new to old because I knew it was one of our newer ones. So that was an easy way to go and find it. But it's Luna. Okay, so Luna Leopard is the one I'm going to work with tonight. And it is a combination that has its background as silver and gold with that little leopard print on there. Dara is very, very similar, and I think I will be using this one later this week, but it is solid gold background, okay, with that little leopard print on there. So basically just the difference between those two. So how many that are watching right now have done any type of, yes, Cherry, it's Luna Leopard, doing any fabric foiling, okay? Have you guys done some questions that I can cover? That's what I'm here for tonight, you guys. Victoria, if you're doing just clothing like I'm going to do this week, there is nothing to seal, okay? So you don't have to seal anything. We're working with fabric foils. We're going to be working with our fabric foil adhesive. So there's nothing to seal. Now this is clothing that I wear that is going to be laundered, okay? Now if I'm doing felt hats, I'm doing canvas shoes, I'm doing baseball caps, it's a completely different process, okay? And maybe I'll hit that even later this week, maybe later this week, okay? Maybe I'll do some baseball caps later this week, we'll see. But I'm working on, this will just be clothing that you're going to wear and wash. Okay, that's what I'm going to focus on for the next couple of days. Oh my gosh, so there's so many of you that haven't done this yet. Okay, I'm going to put my camera down. Hello, everybody. I just got to say hi. Okay, I got to get in here. Kim, Wendy, Evelyn, Victoria, Rhonda, Andrea. Let's see, Kathy. Jen's in the house. We've got 2 Jens. Okay. Barbara says, glad to be here tonight for these awesome instructions. Oh, you're most welcome. Charity's here. She was trying to help me out. Tanya, Roberta. Wow. Okay. The list keeps going on, but thank you guys for being here. Okay. Boy, there's a lot of you that haven't tried clothing yet. Okay. So I'm glad I'm doing this. Okay, let me get somewhat organized here, which I feel like I'm just not organized tonight, but hey, we'll get there. Okay, like I said, I've already, I gotta move something here before I get the jeans on it. I've already started these jeans. Like I said, they already have some foiling done on them. I did that whole pocket solid, and then I did the other pocket with just the stencil design. So I grabbed that stencil because I figured we're just going to stay with the same theme and not change anything on here. And I'll have to admit, I have a tendency to always use the Nora page because I love how I can make it meander up a leg and go in different directions. So I always have a tendency to use this one, but I'm trying to promise myself tonight to not, okay? Somehow we're going to try to make this design work. And I'm trying to figure out how maybe I want to do this. Maybe we'll just put a band around the leg doing both sides, okay? This stencil's been used a few times. And I'm just going to use my fingernails and try to scrape away some of these built up edges. Okay, that's definitely going to change the look of the design because I haven't washed this since I used it with the spray last time. And I'll have to admit that the duo, not the duo, but the spray kind of does gunk up your stencils, but the best way to clean them is just to let it build up and dry and then scrape it off, okay? And I'm being very honest. That's how I do it, okay? I'm not trying to scrape off the top edge. I'm just trying to scrape any of the any of the openings, okay, that were, I feel like there's something on here, okay, that would affect the print. So, this is what I'll do sometimes when I have a stencil, because I'm telling you, the stuff doesn't clean up really well in going into the sink and washing it, not unless you soak it. If I soak it, then, oh, what's the product from Dollar Tree? Awesome. Awesome from Dollar Tree works pretty darn well, but all I'm trying to do is kind of scrape off the edges. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. As I said that, I still found more. Okay, one of these days we've got to go grab a new stencil, but I think I'm out of this one right now. I think it's on order. Okay, we're going to go across the leg. Somebody said compliments, not complaints, okay? Kim says, I did this on my favorite blue jeans. I love them and get a ton of compliments. Oh, so many. Okay. I would have read that correctly, but says I'm going to do 2 more pairs this week. Awesome. Hello, Miss Leslie. Okay, one other spray I need that I forgot to grab. Okay, so I think we're ready to rock and roll here. And just make sure that you clean up your stencil a little bit before you use it again. Which, I'm sorry, you guys. Should have done that ahead of time, but I didn't realize how dirty it was. I'm not good at cleaning my stencils until I need to use them. I don't clean them when I put them away all the time. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, which is super important, is you want to use our repositionable spray adhesive. This is meant for stencils. It is sprayed on the back side of the stencil and makes it tacky so it will stay in place. And that is important when using the fusible spray adhesive that we're going to be using. Okay, so we're going to be using this product to actually stencil or to foil with, okay? And it's important to make sure that your stencil is stuck. So it needs to be like completely stuck to the fabric, okay? So I'm shaking up the can first. I'm gonna go spray this over the garbage. I normally spray it outside because, see, it says danger, warning, all this stuff on here. You really should be spraying this outside, and because you don't want to smell it. It's stinky stuff. I'm only going to spray it a little bit. Oh, also, when I do spray it, I try to stay back about 8 to 10 inches and just do a light mist over the back of it, okay? Which I'm going to do now over the garbage can. Once you do spray the back of the stencil, I want you guys to keep this facing sprayed side up, because you do not want to flip it over onto your project until it's had a minute or so to tack up. It's really important that you don't flip it over immediately, because that stuff has to tack up. And if you try to spray it and then immediately flip it over, there's a chance that some of that residue will get stuck onto your fabric or whatever. I use that spray adhesive not just for stenciling on fabric, but I also use it a lot when I'm doing walls, embossing stencils, and other projects like that. Kim, don't worry. I got your meaning there, girlfriend. You had tons of compliments. There were absolutely no complaints, okay? Okay, so you can fill it, and it's just going to be a light tack. It's not going to be super, super tacky, but it's going to help keep the stencil in position. I'm going to bring this up the leg, and for 2 reasons. Because if somebody wanted to also still roll up and do a little cuff at the bottom of the jean, you could. And it's going to just kind of keep it away from the bottom. Okay, so you want to press your stencil in position. Make sure that it is basically what I want to say locked down, that nothing is going to get underneath it. And then the other thing that I'll do, and I'm grabbing my wider tape because I want to tape off the top and bottom of the stencil and give myself a little bit more barrier from overspray. So that way I can make sure that I'm only going to spray in here and it does not get onto the jeans anywhere else. You could also use a piece of paper or whatever you have laying around, but just try to make sure that you have the rest of your clothing just masked off so that you don't end up with overspray. Okay, this can is almost empty, but we're going to try to give this one a workout here. Hold on, Tanya. Okay, I know it's annoying, but you guys, you really need to shake this up and hear that ball rattling like that, okay? Tanya, yes, you could do this with a one-time use vinyl stencil. That would work. Hello, Miss Jennifer. No worries. I'm glad to have you in here. This stencil here is Bella Flourish. It is out of stock right now, but they are on order, okay? So they should be here in about a week. So put it on your wish list, and I think you'll get a notice when it comes back in stock. Okay, so I like to stand up when I do this because I feel like I got to be above it. Okay, this stuff sprays out white. Kind of reminds me of flocking for a Christmas tree. Okay, so you're just going to spray in the openings so that they look white, okay? And it doesn't have to be solid. You just need to have all your openings basically stenciled. And then you can pull up your stencil and voila, look, we've got a really cute little design on the bottom of our leg, okay? Now, this only takes about 10 to 15 minutes to dry. It doesn't have to dry for long, okay? So I'm just reading here. Make sure you peel your stencil off, allow the fusible spray to dry for about 10 minutes, okay? And then I don't use parchment paper, but I'll talk about how you can. So while we're waiting for this to dry, we can talk about care and all those other good things of, oh, Angie, go out and come back in, okay? Oh, Jennifer, you're so sweet. Thank you for the stars. Oh, Kathy, it's our Deco Foil. If you go to Foiling Essentials on the website, you're going to see all of the options of the adhesives, and this one is called the Fusible Spray Adhesive. I would grab one because I got a feeling by the end of this live, you guys, we're going to be sold out again. And I mainly use it with stencils, okay? And like Tanya asked, of course, you can use a vinyl stencil. If you want it to do a whole pocket, you could tape off the pocket and spray the pocket as well, and use the fusible in that way. And that's about the only two different ways I do it. Now, I'm doing jeans, but you can obviously do a t-shirt. You can do a jean jacket. You can do whatever clothing your heart desires, okay? As far as our care for our clothing, you want to be, why can't I feel like I can't talk tonight, you guys? Oh my gosh, I feel like my brain went somewhere else and my mouth is just not catching up to it. Let's get on track here, Jen. Okay, care for your foiled clothing. I suggest you turn everything inside out and you wash it on cold water, delicate cycle, and you line dry. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh my gosh, you don't put your jeans in the dryer. Honey, if I put my jeans in the dryer, my ass couldn't get back into them, okay? I think they would shrink, and I haven't shrunk lately, so I don't think I would fit anymore. So my jeans never go in the dryer. Everything is line dried around our house. I want to say 70% of our wardrobe is hung to dry, because also it makes your clothes last longer, okay? They don't get worn out as fast. Now, I want to tell you guys that I know I do not always turn my jeans inside out or my t-shirts inside out. And I don't normally use delicate cycle, but I try never to put them in the dryer. Now, my boyfriend has put things on the dryer, and they've come out okay. So we tell you the way to care for them that is going to keep them looking their best. Well, my apron was done as well. Okay. But you can tell my apron hasn't been washed lately. But even if you blow it and it goes into the washer right side out, you didn't go on cold water, maybe warm. And if they actually did make it through the dryer, they're most likely going to come out okay, but they're going to wear faster. Okay. So you just, be prepared that if you are washing warm and you're drying all the time, you could possibly get some wear, okay, on the foil. It could get to where it starts to come off here a little bit here and there. So don't be too concerned, okay? But if you're always doing as I say, then you should have really great success with them. Okay, there's some questions here. I'm going to back up for a second because we got a 10-minute waiting period here, okay? Let's see. Let's see. Delena's saying the same. Jeans do not go into the dryer. Lisa's trying to help me out why I can't talk tonight, okay? Kim's thinking a pair of leggings. Would that work? I guess you can use it on a t-shirt. Okay, so your leggings are going to stretch. I was going to try a pair of leggings, and I haven't yet, because you're going to make it stretch, okay, which could definitely crack the design a little bit. I know if I've done, okay, so I did a t-shirt once, and I think I did a small instead of a medium or a large, and I went to go put it on, and it was tight across my chest, okay? And it was, you're having to stretch it out a little bit, okay? So it can affect it a little bit. So I'm not sure how well leggings would hold out, because I know my leggings look a lot smaller before I get into them than when I get into them, then they stretch with me, okay? I think I would try something on the lower leg, because I don't feel like that has to stretch as much, and give it a try, okay? Let's see. Oh, Lori, I'll put the phone number here for you. Lori wants to make sure that she gets signed up for alerts. The number is right here for me, so that way I don't have to remember it, okay? Just text that number, Lori, the word alerts, and you will get into our texting, okay? So that way you'll know when I'm going live. And not only do we do alerts when I'm going live, but we also have sometimes a special deal that is just for our texting club, that there are deals and specials for you guys. So it's a great thing to be in, okay? Charity, the spray I just showed, okay? So this one is meant to be sprayed through a stencil or a designated area that you've taped off normally. I'll have to show you guys that I did spray this when I kind of went outside the lines. I'll have to show you. I did a YouTube video on it. I'm looking to see if I have the liquid, okay? So the liquid we'll address later this week, but the liquid has a tip on it. And you can cut this tip down as far as you want, depending on if you want a thin line or a thick line, but it's mainly designed to draw, okay? That I would be outlining flowers or creating a pattern And it's a raised line, okay? It does not flatten out. It doesn't soften. It stays like a rounded edge line, okay? It's fun to detail with, but that's mainly all I personally use it for. I've also used it on cardstock. So let's say I stenciled a design first on card. I'll come back and outline the design with the liquid and then come back and foil that as well. So there's definitely more uses for it, but that's pretty much all I have done. Oh, good. So Sandy's chiming in and said that she's done headbands with the Duo and that they've done well because, again, a headband is going to stretch, okay? I think you've done more random, right? Where you just kind of did random colors on the headband. That would probably be, yeah, wise because then you don't have a word or a design that's stretching. You guys are good here tonight with a bunch of questions, okay? Dara, you do not have to seal it because we are working with fabric adhesives and fabric foils, so you do not need to seal. Yes, Lori, just text the word alert. I think if you just text even, it'll just go through. Okay, let me back up here for a second. Maria's saying, I need that and the medium-sized foil adhesive and whatever else should go on that package. You can load that package, okay? With whatever you want. Okay, Delana here is saying, what would the shelf life be on a gallon of foil adhesive? Like, would it last me a year, seeing that I don't get to? Yes. Great question. It normally takes me, it just depends on how much stuff I'm doing, but I would say on an average at 6 months that it takes me to go through a gallon of foil adhesive. And I know it's taken longer than that. As long as you put your lid back on tight and store it in a controlled atmosphere, controlled environment, like in the house, okay, not in the garage, not in the storage shed, it should be fine, okay? Because the shelf life is actually 2 to 3 years. As long as it's stored correctly. Now, if it's not stored correctly and you're going through extreme high and low, it's not going to last as long. The Duo I'm going to talk about later this week. I don't even know if I have a jar of it out here right now. I'm looking. Well, I couldn't even show it to you if I wanted to. We have no Duo over here. That's quite strange, okay? So the Duo I will be talking about later this week, and we'll do some stuff with it. I'm going to try to stay focused tonight on our fusible spray adhesive, but we do have 4 different types of adhesive that you can use on fabric. So it's the fusible, the Duo, the liquid, okay, those are all by Deco Foil that we carry on our website. And then we also have heat transfer vinyl adhesive. So that's our 4th one. And I'm going to hit all 4 of those this week. Okay. So we're going to have lots of lives. So Carla, I will be covering that. Okay. Tara says, I'm going to grab this. Yeah, I would grab the fusible. Okay. Let's see. Delana says, oh, good grief. I may take me 2 to 3 years. Delana, you'll be fine. I mean, at quart, if you don't think you're going to go through that much, a quart's definitely a better investment than the smaller jars. And, I would say you'd probably get through a quart a lot faster if you're not going to be doing a ton of projects between now and the next year. Okay. Just to lose focus for a minute, that will be behind you. Oh, the wall behind me, you guys. Okay, it's my favorite wall. I wanted to tell you that makes me so happy when I walk into my studio every day. I get to look at that, okay? And I've started some more projects around here. So the studio is coming together, and Maria, it is going to look amazing by the time you get here. I might be dead by the time you guys get here, but I'm going to bust my little fanny, and the studio is going to be amazing when we do our event called Live with Jen, Live with Me, okay? Here on May 30th, 31st, and June 1st, we are going to be having an incredible event. We are going to have so much stinking fun. We are going to be creating all day and into the evening, probably. I feel like I'm going to be capturing everybody and just keeping them hostage because we're just going to be going nonstop. But it's going to be a great event. If you want to know more information about it, just type Live with Jenna in the comments, and I'll make sure to get you guys a link and you can find out more. Okay, I'm going to put my camera back down, and we're going to see if we can get going on this. Okay, I've got my iron here, which we got to get plugged in and get this little baby heated up. Now, as I indicated, you need to wait 10 minutes, but it's okay if you wait beyond 10 minutes. It's not going to be a life or death situation, okay? I don't think I've ever sprayed and left it overnight, so I can't not like guarantee if that is a good idea. But I mean, if something's dry within 10 minutes, you should be able to go forward and keep working on your project. Cindy, you guys are just going to have to come to me. I can't bring my studio to you guys, okay? Well, okay, I want you guys to know that we have airports that are close. We have LAX, which is 30 minutes away. We have Long Beach Airport, which is like 15 minutes from the studio. And we have Santa Ana, which is probably 20 minutes from the studio. So there are 3 airports that are close to me, you guys. And Long Beach, okay, I'm telling you, check out Southwest Airlines going into Long Beach. They have some of the best deals. So don't get scared away because I'm a little bit further away from you guys. And Huntington Beach, okay, Huntington Beach in May is normally pretty beautiful around here. Okay, we can have a little bit of May gray, but that normally burns off after the morning. And then we have gorgeous afternoons, so y'all can go play at the beach while you're here. Yes, Carla, if we could only beam. Dara says, in my cart. Let's see, it says, in my cart, but will take me a bit to go through all the foils. Oh, I know. Dara, there's 450 plus, okay? Yes, vacation time, okay? The event goes Thursday night, Friday and Saturday all day. So you can definitely add on a couple extra days and make it a little vacation. Okay, so let's get going here. I think my iron, well, I plugged it in but didn't turn it on. Okay, I was doing a little test to see if there was heat. There's no heat yet. Okay, so once we allow that to dry, we're going to cover it with our foil. And I would say if you've never done a test run with your iron, then grab some parchment paper and put parchment paper over the foil as well. And this is just a little bit of a safety feature that I recommend if you have never used your iron to do this. So I had an older iron. This is not my oldest iron. I have one that's way older than this. And I didn't realize that I was always going to full hot, okay, as high as it would go. And I guess that was like medium on most irons. And I discovered the hard way that I was doing a demo live, okay, with a huge group of people. There had to have been like 300-400 people there in the audience. And I stuck the iron on hot, all the way on hot, not on medium. And I scorched the foil, okay? So I learned the hard way. So if you're never done anything with your iron, put it on medium heat. Use parchment paper to start with. Make sure you are also on a hard surface, okay? I'm on a wood table here. Don't do this on your ironing board because you can't press hard enough. Where you have all these seams, okay, that makes it a little tricky for jeans because you have to make sure that you are getting everywhere. So when you have parchment paper, you don't have to worry so much that you're going to scorch anything. I can actually let my iron sit there for a second because normally I don't. I normally will keep it moving at all times, but I was trying to move the bench out of my way. And I'm going to try and make sure I'm ironing on all sides of these seams. See how I'm getting on that edge? Okay, I'm ironing right on that little tiny edge that's out there, because if I don't go over there and iron, I'll miss it. And I'm putting pressure. So I'm using some pressure. Again, I'm on a hard surface. I like to iron for about a minute or two and just make sure that I have really good coverage, and hopefully I have ironed over all of the design elements. Okay, when you feel like you've done your job well, you can definitely remove your parchment paper. Now, I know I'm safe at medium heat. I can iron directly over the foil, okay? So you don't have to use the parchment paper. That was just a safety net for those that have never used their iron and you don't know how hot your iron's getting. And I'm just gonna go directly on here and make sure that I have good heat on that design. Okay, this is a very, very important part here. You have to let it cool. All of our foils are what are called a cool release. And if you rip this off right now, I have no guarantee that that's going to stick and you could have failure. Kathy says, Jen, are the foils specifically listed as fabric foils, or do all that are approved for fabric just pop up on the site? Okay, so great question. And I'm going to tell you guys what to do. So if you go to the shop button, okay, and you press metallic foils, okay, you start scrolling down and there's going to be all kinds of categories like solid colors, animal prints, tie-dyes, multicolored foils, and you keep going, you keep going, and keep going. At the very, very bottom of the page, there are two boxes. One says textile foils and the other one says non-textile foils. So the only ones that we do not recommend putting on fabric are the ones in that box that say non-textile, and it's not a ton, okay? Most of our foils are fabric friendly. I think there might be a dozen or so that are not. But that is how you can find that out. So if you are questioning a foil that you have, let's say that you had purchased Portia, okay? You can just type Portia into the search box. You can click on it, and then there's a couple of boxes that'll say about Portia, and it recommends base coat colors. It will tell you that this is a textile friendly foil and will work on fabric, and talks about the release. So there's a lot of information on the website for each foil. So they're listed as textile, okay, which means they're just fabric friendly. Okay, I'm going to put my hand in here, just try to let some of that heat out. And not only do you want to let this cool down completely, you want to let it cool down naturally. Do not go throw it in the refrigerator or the freezer and try to cool it down fast. Again, you could have failure. Now, I want you guys to know that the reason I know about these things is because you've done them. And you've reached out to me and wanted to know why you've had failure. Well, I found out that somebody threw the jeans or whatever her project was in the freezer, trying to cool it off fast because she wasn't patient enough for it to cool off on its own, and it didn't work. Okay. And then most of the time, if I have anybody having any kind of failure on fabric, it is because as soon as they're done ironing, they rip it off. Okay. We're just about cool enough here. Hello, Mr. David Parker. We haven't seen you out here for a while. Hope all is well. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm caught up with questions and comments, you guys. And you know what? We're going to do a little giveaway, okay? Actually, we're going to do a pretty darn special giveaway. We need to get 40 shares for this to happen. But I'm going to give away one of our cans of fusible spray adhesive and a 3-foot roll of the Luna Leopard foil, okay, to the lucky winners. So if y'all want to play along and possibly get a chance to win, all you need to do is share this video, and you can share it to your own personal page. You can share it to a friend. You can share it in a group, but only if it's allowed, and then come back in the comments and let me know that you have shared, okay? And that's all you have to do, okay? But if you don't come back in the comments and let me know you shared, we won't know that you did. So I am just releasing this, and I'm doing it slow, and only for the reason that I love to critique and see how well of a transfer I got. Because if by chance, and especially with jeans, you guys, or anything that has the seams that are raised, you're going to find that it's a little challenging, okay, to make sure you're ironing around that area. So I go slow, because if by chance something has not transferred well, okay, I'm going to just peek from the other side, I can go back. Oh, this transferred so stinking well. But let's say it didn't, okay? I could go back and I could iron again. And I could just lay it right back down, iron it back on there, let it cool, okay, and then release. But it came out great, so I don't have to worry. Look how cute that is. And the release is absolutely fabulous, you guys. And I love all the shares, okay? So make sure, you guys, share like crazy, because we need to get 40 shares tonight so that I will do that giveaway. Okay, what I'm going to do here is grab my stencil once again. I am going to try to match this up. Huh. Okay, where did I stop? Okay, let me figure out where the design matches. Okay, the design matches right there. Okay, there's no way I'm going to get a lining up, okay, because I don't want to do multiple repeats. So what I'm going to try to do, though, is kind of make sure that I have it at the right height, okay, that I've got it going around about at the same level on both sides, so it looks like it's wrapping around. Hello, Ellen. Okay, so for those of you that might have chimed in late, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of the leg, the pant leg. I'm going to tape off, because we want to create a wider barrier, because there's always overspray, okay? Do not... definitely be aware the overspray is big, okay? Even when I did the first side, I had a little bit of overspray. So besides taping it, okay, I can even take some paper, put that underneath my tape, okay? So I have even a better barrier. Because overspray is overspray. We do not want any overspray. Also, if you have just chimed in, the back of the stencil, okay, the side that is touching the fabric, has already been sprayed with our repositionable spray adhesive. That is only to mount the stencil, because we have to make sure the stencil is going to stay in position completely, because when you're spraying the fusible spray, it can go underneath, okay? So that's why you want to make sure that everything is pushed down and secured to the jean. Okay, I'm not sure I want to chance this one. I'm going to go for it. Okay, I'm going to move my iron so I don't burn myself. Oh, thank you guys for all of the shares. We'll have to check and see how many we got already, okay? So lots of noise coming up, okay? I'm really to the bottom of this can, so this is getting gutsy. But shake it up well. And then when you're spraying this, it's going to look like flocking on Christmas trees, okay? That white flocking, this is what it looks like. And you're just going to spray in the openings so they look white, okay? You don't have to spray it heavy. It doesn't have to be opaque. I definitely have some areas where I sprayed a little bit more. I have other areas where I sprayed less. We should still be fine. Once you have sprayed, you can remove your little barriers there, your shields, remove your stencil, and allow that to dry for about 10 minutes. Yes, Barbara, I think if you just look up spray adhesive, I think at one point it was called Stick It, or even maybe repositionable spray adhesive. It's definitely on the website, okay? Hello, Kalina. Spring cleaning. Spring cleaning? It's not spring yet. Okay, let's see. What stencil? David, are you talking about this one here? This one's called Bella Flourish. It is out of stock, but I have it on order. And if you put it, I think, on your wish list, you'll get a notification when I stock it. It should be here in about a week or so. What I do want to talk about is cleaning. And I just want to make sure that I'm caught up here with questions. Oh, thank you guys for all the shares. That is so awesome. Maria, you're going to have a blast when you're here, okay? Okay, again, it's called Bella Flourish. I think if you look up number 530S, okay, because it's the small version, it comes large and small. Yes, 530S is the stencil you guys are looking for. Okay, I'm trying to read here. It says, can you cut something out of vinyl and use it as a stencil? Yes, Dara, you sure can, okay? So you can do a one-time use vinyl stencil if you want to do something custom. Just attach your stencil. Make sure, again, that you are masking everything off for overspray. Spray it and then remove it, okay? It's garbage after that. But that will definitely work, because that way you can do some custom. Sandra says, I'm foiling a jean jacket now. I think it's going to turn out great. Oh, I'm sure it is, Sandra. We can't wait to see. And make sure that you share your projects over in Foil Everything. Okay, guys, we're still doing the giveaway, or we're going to try to do a giveaway. So if you want to participate, I'm going to be giving away one of our cans of spray adhesive, our fusible spray adhesive. And I'm also going to include a little 3-foot roll of the Luna Leopard. And who can't love Luna Leopard? It's such a great foil. Oh my gosh, Dara, you're going to have so much fun. Oh my gosh, Kalina says she's really seriously decluttering everything. Okay, so to participate in the giveaway, you guys, you need to share this video, share it to your personal page, share it to a friend, share it to multiple friends, share it in a group if it's allowed to be shared into a group, And then come back here in the comments and let me know that you did share it, okay? Because otherwise we won't know. And hey, I want you to know, once we put all of your names into the little random name picker, we do go check and make sure you shared, okay? Let's see. Okay, I'm just getting caught up with everything. Okay, guys, so for those that did tune in, you have to let this sit for about 10 minutes. I have never let it sit overnight, but I have definitely always let it sit for 10, maybe 20 minutes. I don't know. I might even gone 30 minutes, okay? But definitely let this sit for at least 10 minutes. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper here. And you guys, make sure that you are planning to tune in every day this week, because I think I'm going to be live every day doing some kind of a fabric project, okay? Aw, thank you guys. Appreciate all the shares. Oh, darn, no, you don't need to be present to win anything. All you have to do is share it, come back in the comments, let us know you shared, and we won't pick a winner until tomorrow. Okay, so your stencil, I was telling you guys, this stuff will junk it up, okay? That's all I can say. And the best way to get it off is to literally use an old room key, your old credit cards, okay, and scrape it. And you just scrape that stuff off, okay? It's, like I said, it's like flocking, and this seems to be the best way to clean the stencil. And that way I don't have to worry about it. I have tried Awesome. I've tried soaking it in Awesome. It helps a little bit, but I find that I just let it build up enough that it will scrape off. And yes, it will take a little bit of work, but you can definitely clean it up. This has now probably 3 to 4 layers on here, and it's scraping off really well. I normally won't clean it after one. I let it build up a little bit. So after I've used the stencil a couple of times with that product, then I get in there and scrape it, okay? But that's how you guys clean it up. And again, somebody was also saying that I think it's Dawn Power Wash will also help pretty good, you guys. So you can check out the Dawn Power Wash and see if that works any better. But I'm always super honest about our products, how they work, how they will gunk up your stencils by chance, okay? I'm plugging my iron back in because I wanted to make sure that I didn't burn myself in the interim, okay? I've tried to be very careful about the iron around here. I've left it on overnight one time. Oops. So we try not to do that. Okay, I'm going to cut off another strip here of foil and get ready. Okay, Linda is asking, so I always recommend that you let whatever project you've done sit for at least 24 to 48 hours before you ever wash it, okay? And then the laundering process is cold water, inside out. You guys can see my face on this, how serious I am, okay? So cold water, inside out, delicate cycle, line dry. Okay, now again, if you do not listen to me and you do everything wrong, it most likely will come out okay, but it will wear faster. So if you pay attention and make sure they're always turned inside out, on delicate and cold and you line dry, everything looks really great. I know that when I get lazy, which happens, and I have to admit, I never turn my clothes inside out, not unless they came off of my body inside out. That's the only way they ever get turned that way. They normally come out okay, but I do cold water. I don't always delicate. And I try never to let anything end up in the dryer other than when my boyfriend helps me out and he throws everything in the dryer for me. So don't worry. Even if you do things wrong, it should still come out okay. Kalina, you can share to any group. It just has to be a group that allows outside videos to be shared, okay? We just don't want anybody to get in trouble because we know that some people have shared into groups and they almost got kicked out, okay? Oh, Bethany, thank you so much. Appreciate the double shares. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm at 10 minutes, but we're going to go for it, okay? And remember, you're at medium heat. If you've never done this before and you don't know how hot your iron gets, put parchment paper down first and protect while you're ironing. Okay, I know my iron is fine, okay, at this heat. I'm also on a hard surface. I'm on a wood table. Take that into consideration. I normally never do this on an ironing board because I want to put pressure on it. So I'm pushing as I'm ironing and I'm making sure that I'm getting on to all sides of the seams because there's a whole bunch of ridges here from the seams of the jeans. So jeans, jean jackets, I have to say they tend to give us a little bit of a run for our money on the seam area, that it just takes a little bit more work. Okay, if you feel like it's getting too hot, and I feel like that is, I'm going to put my parchment paper back down because I really do like to iron for a couple of minutes and just make sure, because I can put a lot of pressure on here. I'm always constantly moving the iron. I do not let it sit in one position because you don't want anything to scorch or burn. Okay, and then I'm going to tell you guys a little trick. If by chance you screw this up like I have, you can save it. So let's say you put your iron down and your iron's too hot and the foil basically melts to your iron. That's what's going to happen, okay? And I know that because I've done it. So I know exactly what happens when the iron's too hot. You will have to clean off your iron, which salt will clean the iron and get all the foil off of the iron itself. And then this will look like it's destroyed. But if you accidentally, like I said, melted the foil because your iron was too hard, just wipe away any of the foil that's remaining, okay? Just wipe it away and clean it all up. And then you can lay a fresh piece of foil down and foil again, and I'll guarantee you it will work, okay? And I know that because I have done it. I thought I ruined my jeans, and I was just like, okay, I have nothing to lose here. Let's go ahead and just clean everything up. I cleaned up the iron because I had stole the iron from the hotel, okay? And I cleaned up the iron, and I just cleaned up the jeans. I scrubbed anything that was like stuck to the jean away, put a fresh brand new piece of foil down, and voila, you guys, it was perfect. I have those jeans at home because I think they still fit, okay? Yes, it is a cold release, okay? So that's why I'm trying to fan my jean here, okay, and cool it off. Do not try to take it off right away. You will not get a transfer. If it's hot, it's not going to release, okay? You've got to let the foil completely cool off. And then, oh, thank you, Wendy. And Sandra's saying she learned the hard way, okay? And that's why when I'm doing these videos, whether it's a live video or a YouTube video, I try to really stress all these points, especially when I find out somebody has done something wrong, okay? Sandra says she uses her mini press for smaller pieces and getting into corners. It works great. Okay, I have a mini press, you guys, and I just haven't used it enough to get to where I'm super comfortable and always get the results I want. I know my iron, but you can use a mini press. You could use a heat press, okay? You could throw this into your heat press, you know, pull it down, let it sit there for however many seconds. I think it's like, oh gosh, I'd have to go look at all those details. But you can definitely use a heat press, okay? So, my table wasn't clean. So everything is fine on this side, other than all the dirty little pieces that I was scraping off the stencil, okay? And now I think we're cool enough over here. Maria is saying, is there a way to undo what you've done if you make an error? Okay, that one's a good question. And we have had people ask, how can you possibly get this stuff off? The only way that I know anybody has removed it is you did something and you weren't happy with it, is you literally have to scrape it off, okay? I think she used a scrubber brush, maybe a firm toothbrush, and to a point of using almost like an X-Acto blade and scraping it. Because we had somebody that wasn't happy, and I told her to try to wash it in hot water and put it in the dryer and see if it helped, and it's still there. Okay, look how gorgeous that came out. Michelle says, I got my first beginner kit today. Excited to start. Yes. Thank you, Michelle. I'm excited for you. So it's possible, but you know, if you've never done the fabric before, just to get familiar with things, if you can find an old t-shirt, some scrap material and just play and test, okay? Because you do not want to overspray this stuff. It shouldn't be like thick flocking, okay? It should just be a thin layer, just enough that you can see that it has turned white through all of the openings. So don't overspray this, okay, to a point where it's thick. That could be an issue. So it's not a bad idea because this is really smooth, you guys. It's not like sticking away from the jean. It definitely has a little bit different texture, but like I said, I wanted these to be able to roll up. So if somebody wanted to still roll up the bottom of the jean, look how cute those are, okay? So we got to find somebody that is the size 27 because I'm not anymore, unfortunately. Okay, guys, this has been a blast. We are still going to keep doing our giveaway, okay? So we'll let this video go through tomorrow. We will not try to pick a winner until tomorrow. So hopefully we get 40 shares. And if we do, we're giving away a brand new can of the fusible spray adhesive and a 3-foot roll of the Luna leopard foil, you guys. So make sure you share the video and come back into the comments and say that you shared. Otherwise, we're not going to know that you did it. So let me make sure that I'm caught up on comments. Ooh, there's 10 more? Dang. Carla, thank you so much for the stars. They are truly appreciated. Barbara said, I did my first foil project this past weekend. I foiled a white picture frame to match my home decor. It looks fabulous. Oh, that is so exciting, Barbara. Thanks for sharing. And make sure to go share in our Foil Everything group because we always want to see your guys' projects, okay? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Foiling is addicting, okay? Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Keep the shares going. We want to make sure that we get to do our giveaway, and we're going to have one lucky winner. You guys have a wonderful evening. We'll see you back tomorrow. Remember, this whole week is fabric stenciling, fabric foiling, okay? We're going to be using all of our different products. So come join me tomorrow again. Bye, guys.